I filmed this video 3 different times and I'm just so tired. So before I begin this video, there are 2 things that I want to say. 1, my voice sounds very, very weird. I've been talking a lot today and it keeps going in and out. 2, don't judge the hair and the hat situation. I have had a very, very bad hair day and this is very necessary for today's video. So, hello. As you can tell by today's video, this is going to be my coming out story / my experience. And when I was coming out, these videos helped me a ton, and I'm hoping that if someone watches this video, that it will help them in the same way that it has helped me. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm going to take the story back to about 7th grade. I felt very, very, very different in middle school. And I know everyone says that, you know, your hormones are changing and your emotions are getting stronger and you're hitting puberty and your bodies are changing and everything like that. But I felt very, very weird in middle school. I don't know, I just felt very, very off and out of it and just kind of out of place. All of the girls in my grade were starting to have their first kisses and get their first boyfriends, and none of it appealed to me. I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want a boyfriend and I didn't want to kiss any boys, but I felt a lot of pressure to do so. I just didn't really want to do any of that. It didn't excite me like it would excite the other girls, but I so badly wanted it to. I really, really wanted to just get it over with, I guess. I would try to pretend like I wanted it, just like all the other girls did, but in reality, I really didn't want to have a kiss with a boy or have a boyfriend. And I thought that that made me very weird, and I thought that there was something seriously wrong with me because I thought every girl at that age wanted that, but I didn't. And after 8th grade in middle school, the feeling didn't really go away. I still didn't want anything to do with any of the boys in my grade. And I think freshman year is when I started to kind of play with the idea that I might be gay. It would pop into my head every once in a while and I would immediately push it away. I did not want to think that I could be gay. I didn't really think that there was anything wrong with it, but I just didn't want to be gay. I remember praying to God not to be gay. I would say, do not make me gay. I would make every single excuse in the book to myself as to why I wasn't gay, as to why I liked boys. I would try to convince myself that I wanted to date a boy, when in reality I really didn't. But I tried to convince myself that I did. And again, I didn't think that being gay was bad. I didn't think that it was wrong or anything. I knew the bad feedback and the backlash that the LGBTQ community has. And I feel like it was even worse back then when, you know, so many people weren't super open about it, and I didn't want to go through that. I didn't want to deal with any of it. I so badly wanted to be normal and like boys, just to prove to myself that, you know, I wasn't gay. I just didn't want to go through any of that because I knew the type of things that people would say about gay people or what people thought, and I didn't want any of that. I didn't want people to think any differently of me. Eventually, I pushed the idea of me being gay so far back into my mind. It was always still in the back of my head, but I didn't even want to think about the chance of me being gay. Then during senior year of high school, one of my friends was going through a really, really bad relationship, and I would see all these girls being treated so poorly by all the guys in my school, and I remember thinking, if I could date these girls, I'd show them how they deserve to be treated. Okay, now that I'm watching that part over, it sounds really weird, but I promise it's not the way that it sounds. You know, they just deserve so much more than what they're getting, and I wish I could show them that. That's kind of when it clicked. That moment is when I kind of realized, I guess, that I liked girls. And that was pretty much the first time that I didn't push the idea away. I was shocked that I was saying this, and I was shocked that I was thinking it, and I didn't push the idea away. I was just kind of like, oh, okay. But after that moment, I didn't really think about it until about a year later. So in December of 2017, which was recent, I would say maybe like 5 or 6 months ago, something like that, Pitch Perfect 3 came out. And that moment was a very pivotal moment in me realizing that I am gay. Anyone that knows me will tell you that I love Pitch Perfect. I love the franchise. The movies are my favorite movies ever. I just love them so much, and I was so obsessed with them, just like I am now. And I would watch the movies and I loved all the characters. I love all of the girls. I didn't know why I was so obsessed with them. You know, everyone likes these characters, but I was like obsessed with them. And I didn't really know why, but looking back now, I do know why. After seeing Pitch Perfect 3, that's when I was like, shit. That's when it really clicked. That moment after watching Pitch Perfect 3, I remember sobbing in my car. And I don't think it was the movie that made me so emotional. It was me realizing that I was gay. I was just so overwhelmed with fear, yet joy. I was happy that I could finally admit to myself, but I was so terrified of what was next. I didn't know where to go from here. It took me a long time to realize that I was gay, and it took me even longer to accept it. In that moment after seeing Pitch Perfect 3, everything that I had thought about myself was true, and I was so happy that I finally knew what was going on. But like I said, I was very, very terrified. And next came telling people. This was what I was most scared for. I had always thought that people didn't like the gays. I always thought that people were so against it, and there are people that are against it. There's a lot of them. But I thought that everyone that I knew and that everyone that I needed to come out to was going to be so against it. The first person that I told was my best friend, Jillian. I remember texting her one day and saying, I don't think I'm 100% straight. I think I like girls. I used to say that I was bi for a long time. Actually, I used to not label myself. I used to say, oh, I don't want to label myself, but if I had to, the best label would be that I'm bi. And I told her, and she was like, okay, cool. And then we just went on and talked about something else. And I was like, wow, that was so easy. And she was totally okay with it. She was so okay with it, and I didn't expect it. I didn't expect her to have that kind of response. It was just so nonchalant of her to be like, okay, cool. And that was that. I think my mom was the next person that I actually fully told. I had always kind of, joked about me being gay. I would say, what if I'm not 100% straight? And I would say stuff like, Mom, I'm not fully straight, or, what if I'm not 100% straight? Oh, my cat's making a cameo. Come here, babe. This is Leo. He's gonna sit with me in the video. But I didn't fully tell her until a little bit later, and I remember saying, Mom, I'm bi, and she didn't believe me. She was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, okay. And I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't know if she was not supportive or she just didn't think I was. I really didn't know what that meant. And then I told her that I'm gay and that I like girls, and she still didn't believe me. Still to this day, she doesn't believe me, which is very weird and very awkward. No matter how many times I tell her that I'm gay, she just doesn't believe me. So, I don't know. It took me a very, very long time to come to terms with who I am, and I realized that I didn't give my mom the same amount of time, and we've had many, many fights about this. Many, many fights. And I realized that in order for her to come to terms with who I am and for her to get used to it, I need to give her that same amount of time that it took me. Because I think I just expected her to be okay with it as soon as I said it, because I was so, I guess, taken back by how my best friend reacted, and I thought that my mom would react in the same way, but that's not how it happened, and I didn't give her the proper time to get used to it. That was my bad, and I told her that it's gonna take time for her to get used to the fact that I'm gay, because she had this picture of me on my wedding day and marrying a boy and having all these kids, and I basically ruined that, dream and that vision for her. So it's gonna take her a little while to get used to it. So we're working through it. We are doing the best that we can in our situation. After I told my mom, that's kind of when I started to tell other people, and strangely they were very okay with it. I wasn't expecting it. I was just they were all kind of cool with it, and I was like, okay. I think when I was first coming out, I secretly wanted one person to not be okay with it just so I could fight them, which is very weird to say. No one wants, someone to not accept them, but I think I just kind of wanted to fight someone, which is very weird. But yeah, everyone was very, very nice about it and respectful for the most part, and I couldn't have asked for a better coming out experience than I had. And I know not everyone is as lucky as I am, and I'm so, so grateful for the experience that I've had. I've had it very, very easy. I know that there are people out there that are struggling to come out, or maybe they have come out and their parents or people in their lives have not accepted them. I do realize how lucky I am, and am very, very grateful for the experience that I've had. And I just want to say that if you are struggling to come out, it's so much better once you do. And I know maybe that's not encouraging enough, because it still can be a very difficult experience, and not everyone is in the greatest situation, but I promise you, once you're out, it's the best feeling ever. It's so amazing, and you will wish that you had come out sooner. Also, if you think that people aren't going to accept you, they might surprise you, because they definitely surprised me. So there are people that won't accept it, and that's their problem. It's not your problem. But I do want to put a disclaimer. If you're in a situation where it's unsafe for you to come out, wait until it's the right time for you. Wait until you are in a safe place to do so, because I know not everyone is in a safe place to come out, and that's okay. Take your time. Take as much time as you need. It'll be worth the wait to come out in a safe way, rather than come out right now and it not be the safest situation. Oh, look. Oh, my other cat came to say hi. This is Charlie. Say hi. Okay. So do what's best for you. Come out when it is the right time for you and you're in a safe place to do so. Don't rush yourself. So I hope that this helped at least one person, if anyone's watching this. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below whatever you want, and hit that subscribe button to see more videos. Hopefully I will have time to do some soon. I start school here in a little bit, so don't know how much time I'm gonna have. But thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.